Well, hey there, welcome back to my garden. If you are new, my name is Whitney and I am just gardening here in zone 6B, 7A, northern Utah, northwestern Utah. It is July 16th and things have finally started to take off. Really excited. It's been, I feel like kind of a crazy year. Things got a slow start and I, just kept planting things because I thought nothing was growing. And turns out I just had to wait for the weather. So if you are coming back to see some of the progress, you'll be really surprised. Things have definitely greened up. We are harvesting out of the garden. We're eating something out of the garden every day, pretty much. So, and not just greens. So we have beets now, lots of zucchini, and even some little baby cucumbers, not quite ready, but it's been really fun being able to be out here. I have some friends that have little ones, really little, like 3-year-olds, and they were over yesterday and having so much fun, like out in the garden and stuff like that. So it's been awesome and exciting. Kind of other things that I've been up to are canning. I've done a lot of canning. So I did apricots, apricot jam, peaches, peach jam. I think I mentioned before I did a ton of tomatillo salsa, and it's just being so excited for stuff to finally be ready that I couldn't contain myself. I bought cases of fruit to put up and cases of tomatillos, which now that I'm looking at the tomatillo, I'm like, oh boy, what am I gonna do with these? So I'm wanting to walk you around. I do want to talk about my grass really quickly. This is something that I really want to do a whole video on because the grass, if you look back on earlier videos, there was no grass just a couple of months ago, and now it is like lush and full. Kids love it. It just makes the whole backyard feel so much better. So we actually planted this grass from seed on April 22nd. And kind of a different method my husband did. He aerated really thoroughly. We didn't bring in any topsoil, and our soil is super clay-like. So, it was kind of just this is a band-aid because we couldn't get sod. One, the price was really high because so many people were in this area are building, and the price was high, and we would have had to wait until August, so still past this. And he said, hey, let's give this a try. So we went through and aerated it really well. I mean, basically just turned it to almost soup, and then put seed down and have watered it and kind of babied it. And it's been really great. I have some progress pics. I'll post them on my Instagram, but it looked like hair plugs for lawn. And he's like, maybe I should start a company. I can call it Hair Plugs for Lawn, because it just grew in those little holes first. And then we've been able to kind of just get it to fill in. And yeah, it's awesome. It's made such a huge difference. So I am sitting here also. I got a new patio set because it's nice enough in the backyard now that we can sit out here and have a meal, or, the other day the girls did homemade ice cream in bags. I think for a lot of people it's called kick the can ice cream, where you put, a container inside like an old coffee can and you'd kick it around. Well, I did it in baggies and let the girls put it on the trampoline and jump, and so it made their ice cream. And it's really nice to come and sit out here. I'll bring, iced tea or a glass of wine and sit and prune petunias. That's one of my new, things that I do now too. So, all right, that's enough. Let's get through this garden tour. Okay, so this is the tower garden, and you'll notice that it's getting a little stressed. We are getting some warmer weather, but still doing well. We still can pick stuff off of it. These are some nasturtiums, and all up here are nasturtiums as well. They're actually doing pretty well considering how warm it has been. So I hope I can get some flowers. You'll see a lot of nasturtiums. I didn't realize those were cool weather things, and I planted a ton of them out after it had already gotten hot. This is my lemon tree, and it's in a pot because where I live, it cannot survive out through the winter. So this lemon tree had tons of little blossoms, lots of little tiny baby lemons on it, and because we have so much crazy wind here, they all fell off. So super sad about that. Next year I'm gonna figure out a way to kind of get it to where it has a block. I don't know if it will flower again. This is, you know, my first year with a lemon tree. But I will tell you, these leaves kind of started yellowing and it just wasn't putting out much growth. So I did get a citrus fertilizer and I mixed that in, and literally within just a couple of days it put out, if you see this one right here, this is all pretty much new growth, and then these guys down here, and the new growth is just so much healthier. I just think some of these have just been hammered by bugs and wind and all that stuff. This is a yucca plant, trying to get it to come back. Definitely was getting way over watered. I did, when my green beans in the beds were not getting anything going on them, I was so afraid I wasn't going to get beans, and beans are something that we eat a ton of, and so I threw just some seeds into these holes where we'd pulled trees out, and I'm getting some bush beans coming up out of there, and I'm really excited to get a harvest off those. So things are starting to fill out, you can see, and we'll go through all of these beds. But I just love how it looks. I love these baskets. I did learn that you have to do a lot of pruning to keep them looking really full, and then on those really hot days they get watered twice a day. So you can see this basket here, which has white petunias. Oh no, these are the pink petunias, and then it has the red flowers. That basket over there has those beautiful purple flowers, and then red petunias, and some sort of small white flower that just didn't do so hot. These are salmon begonias, and I think they're so pretty. And then some petunias here. The color on these, like, you just can't even do it justice. They're so vibrant and hot pink. This is the potato bed. So 5 different types of potatoes in here. And this just got mulched yesterday. So adding more and more dirt to get more and more potatoes. So we're really excited about this. I do have a couple that are, this one right here was really struggling. Made sure to get a lot of water, and by that I mean I accidentally left a sprinkler on in this bed overnight. Yeah, not so good. But this green started kind of coming in, so maybe it was just lacking some water. But these ones are looking like they're getting ready to flower. So I know once the potatoes flower, and these greens will die off, and then we can dig up the actual potatoes. Okay, here is kind of an overview of the big bed, and lots of big changes in here. Put in some drip irrigation, you'll see through here. It was just taking me a really long time to get all the watering done. Also trying to automate some of it because we love to camp and haven't been successful in getting it really well watered when we're not here. So, okay, I think we'll just kind of start here and wrap around. But you'll notice that I have some nasturtiums that are actually doing really well in here. This one, you know, I don't know if this is heat damage or insects, but also I don't know if you guys can hear this, but this tomatillo monster plant, oh my gosh, I don't even know what to do with it, is buzzing. So all day long this thing is just covered in pollinators. They're just flying around. This and the squash bed, always they just buzz. So yeah, kind of cool, kind of scary. But take a look at that thing. Oh my gosh. It's out of the top here, and it's got so many flowers on it. I thought there's no way this thing can put on that many tomatillos. But every time I go to prune it, I don't even know where to start. I have no idea. Also, the bees don't really like me touching it, so this has gone wild, and it's just gonna stay like that. This one here next to it is a tomatillo as well. It's not quite as tall, but it's getting there. And yeah, I think you guys can see that, just bees all over it, pollinating. I do want to show you right in here, you can see that little case there. That is a praying mantis, and hopefully we'll be able to see some of those on our garden tour today. I released several hundred praying mantis into the garden. I got them when I when I purchased my ladybugs, and they were in the house waiting to hatch, and they hatched out on Tuesday this week. So hopefully you'll be able to see some of those as we go. Marigolds, just look at these beets. Those are my beets, and I was really worried that they weren't gonna do well, but I did see a video from M.I. Gardener, and he multi-sows his beets and said that he never has issues getting a decent harvest off of them, even though they're really close together. So if you look in there, we're getting some beets. I was gonna pull them and just roast them really tiny like this, but I actually decided to leave them in the ground until, you know, we're actually gonna eat them, then come out and pull them. But I'm not so worried that they're choking each other out, because he said, you know, just let them go and you'll still get some nice beets. So I do think they would probably enjoy a little dirt on top of them, but we can do that as well. But look at those beet greens. We've eaten so many beet greens. Tomato plants really filling out. There's some peppers. This nasturtium is doing well, and I kind of attribute that to the fact that it's between some of these other plants. It's also on this side of the bed that gets a lot of extra water for, oh look, can you see him? There's one right there, one of my little praying mantises. Gets extra water for these greens. So yeah, little baby praying mantis, and there's hundreds of them in here. Last night it was really cool. We could see them just everywhere. They were just all over the place. This is my spinach, and I'm actually getting ready to pull, probably today, I'm gonna cut all the spinach out except for these ones that are going to seed. I wanna save some seeds from the spinach. It did so well, you know, now that it's hot, it's still going, but I wanna get that chopped, frozen, and in the freezer. I want to freeze the spinach for use later, because I have so many, you know, turnip greens and beet greens that I'm using for fresh right now, and I just don't know how long this will last. But spinach is one of those things that I put in like lasagna or lasagna roll-ups, and so I like to have a lot of it on hand. But yeah, look at these, the peppers. This is a lemon, oh no, this is a red beefsteak tomato right here. And it's got this leaf curl. Again, bugs and wind, that'll do that. Not sure which is the culprit on this one, but we do have some flowers, and down here, that tomato still not ripening up yet, but excited, super excited for it. So like I mentioned, these are turnip greens. The turnips are starting to form down underneath, and it's they're a ways off. They're still pretty tiny, but these are Tabasco peppers. I mean, just look at that one. We planted this guy, this one right here, because this one had just died, and instead of ripping it out, my husband said, give it another go, and look at it, it's just bounced back. It's finally got established and gotten enough warm temperatures where it's doing something. Same thing with these tomatoes. I feel like they just have, look at this guy, they've just kind of exploded. And this is a yellow pear tomato, and we have a yellow pear on the other side. I'll show you. I did just see another one of my little praying mantises down here. Oh, there he is, crawling around. So yeah, hundreds of them. And I am gonna do a video about what happened when I released the ladybugs. I saw a huge decrease